This is a Fox News alert breaking right now. New details of the ongoing and growing controversy surrounding General Petraeus and now General Allen. Let's get the very latest from our national security correspondent, Jennifer Griffin, who joins us live from the Pentagon. Jennifer, give us, there's so many things coming out. They're breaking as we speak. Give us the 2 or 3 most important things that you've seen, you've heard today.
Well, I think the most important thing, Eric, is how this investigation is expanding. We went to bed last night thinking that the investigation, the FBI investigation, had ended, and then we hear that the FBI was going back to Broadwell's house, Paula Broadwell's house, Petraeus' mistress, down in North Carolina. We don't know what that's all about. And then we hear, shortly after that, that General John Allen, the top U.S. commander in Afghanistan, who was here in Washington preparing for his confirmation hearings for his next job as the Supreme Allied Commander in Europe, that those confirmation hearings are on hold and that he is now implicated in this controversy because of 30,000 pages of emails to Jill Kelly, who is the woman who launched this investigation. So it really keeps unraveling. It's like an onion that you keep rolling back. But I think we also need to look at the contentious custody battle that Jill Kelly's sister was involved in. We now understand that Petraeus and Allen both wrote letters of asking the judge to show some leniency to Kelly's sister. Was there undue sort of influence of, used by these 2 men for these women, and were there any laws broken? But it just keeps getting. It's not as simple as a simple sexual affair at this point.
All right, Jennifer Griffin, thank you very much for keeping us up to date. Listen, folks, this story reads like a cross between TMZ and a Vince Flynn spy novel, except it's true and it implicates our top spy, our top wartime general, and at least 3 women, and exposes tens of thousands of emails, some extremely salacious and sexual in nature. Andrea, I got to ask you, I mean, every single moment we wake up, we turn the TV on, there's a new detail.
Yeah, who needs Bravo TV, right? Cheating general, shirtless FBI agent, beautiful biographer, mentally ill twin sister. It's the Real Housewives of West Point, right? I do think, though, you have to separate the 2 stories here, the sex scandal and Benghazi. And the biggest question that everyone should be asking is, did the sex scandal influence Benghazi? Did the dalliances, indiscretions of the general somehow contribute to the response we got and the alleged cover-up for Benghazi? Because people are asking why, if this is just your typical crazy sex scandal that looks a little too crazy to be coordinated, then why isn't the general testifying? Why isn't Hillary Clinton testifying? Why, if there are reports that he was welcoming testifying, he's still not going to do that?
If there was a rose that was dying in a garden, you would connect it to Benghazi. What are you talking about?
Well, can I jump in here? Here's what she's talking about. General Petraeus said, under oath, raised his hand and said he blamed the attack on Benghazi for heroes. He blamed that on the video. And we've known subsequently to that it had nothing to do with the video. Greg,
we don't know that for sure.
Well, you know what?
I think we do.
You know when you're on a plane and you're taking off and you're gaining altitude and you like to look out the window and see where you came from and it keeps getting smaller and smaller until you can't see it? That's Benghazi. Wave goodbye as all the media moves to the salacious land of sexual scandal. That's the shame here, as entertaining as it is, and it is entertaining. I mean, we got twin sisters. That means in the movie, an actress can play both of them and win an Oscar. I think it should be Mindy Cohn from Facts of Life. I'm not sure yet. But I think it's just this whole thing is destroying everybody's credibility, which is great for the administration, because you can't trust anyone anymore. Well, it works for them.
Benghazi is beginning to sound like the Twilight Zone, frankly.
What?
Benghazi is beginning to sound like the Twilight
What do you
Zone.
mean?
Because it's just...
Bob, the FBI has clearly spent more time on this sex affair and investigating it than they have Benghazi. I think that's a problem.
Let me ask Dana a question here. Is it safe to assume that there was not, or was there a connection between Petraeus and Broadwell and Kelly, who sent her emails to Kelly and Allen?
Well, that's all to come out, but there is at least some sort of tangential one, which is the twin sisters, and then the letters that both the CIA director and General Allen send on behalf of the sister to try to help deal with her custody battle. It's kind of, when you need help like that, you do want the best, most trustworthy people to write letters on your behalf, but that the CIA director and our top wartime general had time to do it is a little suspect.
You know what? I feel like I'm at a used car lot, which is when they're trying to sell you the undercoating. So you don't notice there's a gaping hole in the floor. And this is what I think Bob is reflecting with the media and the government refusing to tie Benghazi to this. Even though, as you say, why was he pushing this? When everybody knew about the affair, why was he pushing the video?
What was there one tie? Name me one tie between the two of these.
No, I'm saying, well, Petraeus, for one thing, everybody knew about this affair, and yet he was pushing the spontaneous mob thing. That's not much of a conspiracy. That's a pretty easy link to make.
And I think there was some news today that General Petraeus did want to keep the affair under wraps because he wanted to keep his job. I'm not sure that's actual news. Hold on. And can we just do this? You're probably at home sitting there going, I can't keep these straight. So we wanted to kind of put this to a telestrator so you can see what's going on. Here's Petraeus and his girlfriend. Okay, here's what's going on. Paula Broadwell sends emails to Jill Kelly because she hears that Jill Kelly is talking or getting close to Petraeus.
What is
Broadwell says, stop, stay away from my guy. So she gets threatened. Jill Kelly feels threatened, so she talks to the FBI. The FBI agent falls in love with Kelly, I guess, sends her pictures, but gets nothing, shirtless pictures, gets nothing done. So he shoots it up the FBI ladder. When they start investigating, pulling the onion away, they find Petraeus with this love connection going on, but they also find General John Allen, who apparently has been sending tens of thousands of emails to Jill Kelly as well.
This Jill Kelly must be something else.
Really
Is this
it all out right there?
Who knows? Is this? We don't know. We don't.
Can I just
Clearly,
say
from
something
that teleprompter,
about
we don't
shirtless photos? I've been sent shirtless photos before.
Sorry about that.
Stop sending me
drunk.
shirtless photos. And to all the men out there, stop sending women shirtless photos. It's not attractive unless you're David Beckham. Put a shirt and tie on.
But this is a good point. It shows how modern communication has turned stoic men into adolescent hormonal maniacs. I mean, this is the CIA we're talking about and people in the military. And you know they weren't just shirtless. They were probably flexing. There's no difference between a 13-year-old boy and a 66-year-old man. They will flex till they die.
Have you ever gotten a shirtless picture from a woman?
No, Bob. And if I did, I wouldn't bring it up here.
Can we talk about this thing?
Okay, let me talk about.
Can I stay into this? Paula Broadwell's father says there's a lot more to come. What more can come out of this?
Yeah, so Paula Broadwell's father, I don't know why he can't just leave well enough alone. You've got the FBI now in their home after they've announced this investigation, which seems a little bizarre. I don't know what they go in there to find. But he reminded me of Lindsay Lohan's parents that desperately want to get in the story. Now, maybe he has something to say, but he's trying to string it along saying there's a lot more here than meets the eye. Well, clearly, after the Telestrator, there's a lot to figure out. And Senator Dianne Feinstein, who is the Democratic senator from California and head of the Intel Committee on the Senate side, has said she will use subpoena power to find out why they were not informed about the investigation the FBI was doing against the CIA director.
Is anybody else bothered by the fact the FBI can indiscriminately go in and look at your emails?
Not as bothered as you are.
Well, no. I want to know who's right they got to dig into other people's... the Patriot Act, of course. Patriot Act took away the Constitution. That's right.
Why would they get involved in the story of this woman calling, saying another woman is harassing me? And it happens to be a general? I mean, Greg, you brought up the point that everybody knew about this. Here's what I don't get either. Eric Holder supposedly knew about this in August, so everyone seemingly knew except President Obama.
Why didn't the local police force deal with it?
Saying that he didn't know that his CIA director was being investigated.
Why would the FBI dig into people's emails?
Can we throw that screen
Well,
up?
We want to go right by that, right? Because that's not American.
Just for one more second, I have to point something out. This family, the family of Jill Kelly, very much in debt. There were something around 11 instances where they were sued for monetary issues, including, I believe, a house sold from underneath them because they weren't paying their mortgages. For me, this seems to be some sort of I don't know, but where all the roads meet. Jill Kelly. I mean, Bob, does it concern you that Ms. Kelly's 30,000 emails?
Two things concern me. One, that whatever the topic is, you bring it back to Benghazi. And two, that the FBI can indiscriminately go into people's emails under, I assume, the Patriot Act, which is another reason why that act ought to be revisited, and we ought to get the government out of our files.
Look, the idea that Obama was surprised by this, if Holder knew it, he knew it. They're not just joined by the hip, they're joined by the spine. When Obama smelt it, Holder dealt it. That's how close they are. So that's a joke.
That'll stand up in a court of law right there.
No, you know he knew. You know he knew, and they kept it until after the election.
I had no idea he knew it.
Well, and if he didn't know,
that to me is more idiotic to actually think that they didn't hold it. It happened after the election, before he had to testify.
Well, and let's say no one did tell the president. Then who's he going to fire over it if no one?
We're going to get to that.
They were told.
Funny you asked that question. Hang in there, Robert. Coming up, we delve a little deeper into the implications of the scandal. Two simple questions. Number one, is it believable that President Obama didn't know about the investigation into General Petraeus' issues? And is America safer now that he's been removed? Dana's on deck.